Hey everyone, and welcome back to another round of Mom Q&A with Mama's Uncut, where we answer your anonymous questions and give you the best advice we possibly can about parenting, motherhood, or relationships. Again, we have Lisa and Mindy. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
You ready to get started? I have a little boy, and his father and I are separated and have been for a few years. We share joint custody of our son, and he is a great father to him, and I have never had any doubts about that. I am just wondering if anyone has any advice for new partners stepping in. My ex's girlfriend makes my son call her mommy when he is with them, and if he doesn't, he gets in trouble. He has told me this. Now, before you tell me to address the situation with the father, I wish I could, but I cannot, as communication is not allowed as the new partner does not allow it. He answers his texts and calls, she answers his texts and calls for him. I'm at a loss. I have been very civil, trying my best to not include my son in any unnecessary family drama. But do I have a right to be upset that another woman is making my son call her mommy? He calls me by my first name when he is there, and sometimes they don't correct him. I'm all for more people who love him in his life. The more, the better, but that's my baby. Thoughts?
Lisa.
First, Mindy.
No, you go first. You have more ammo in the cannon here.
How do I have more ammo in the can?
Because this is something that you have experienced in a small part. You
Okay,
have a blended your children have a blended family. It's
No one's ever. Well, okay. My family became blended when my children were older, and if somebody, which she would never do because she's cool and we get along, but if she, for example, made my kids call her mommy, all hell would break loose between not to, and I wouldn't even have to do anything. My kids would do it, and would lay into my husband or my ex-husband, and like it would just be a mess. So complete overstepping of bounds. The fact that this woman is not allowing you to co-parent is a problem, right? Like the number one thing in a when parents split up is the co-parenting relationship, and that totally defines how your kids are going to handle the go forward and into adulthood, right? Are they going to, just because our marriage didn't work out, we still, we all hang out, right? We spent my son's birthday all together as a big family, and I would have it no other way, because God knows I'm not jealous and she's got nothing to worry about as it relates to me. But I do want a relationship where we can all spend time together and have a good time, right? And so when this woman creates these boundaries that are so artificial and get in the way of co-parenting, like I just hope the dad sees the red flags, because the dad is letting this woman run rampant. And if the woman engaged and co-parented as well, I think it would be a different story, because I could totally call up, my ex-husband's fiance and be like, hey, do you want to do these types of things, and get it all sorted, and it would be a super enjoyable and productive conversation. But if you can't do that, like, how are you going to co-parent? And under no circumstance is somebody allowed to force your kid to call your kid mommy if it's not you.
Yeah.
Under no circumstance.
Yeah, that feels very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just, the thing that's kind of weird, they're separated, right? So they're not officially divorced yet. I'm wondering if they can't, because they can't work anything out as it is, if legally they would have to work through some things. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know there can be like advocates from the court, or some mandatory counseling, whatever. I think that maybe that's a way to go. Maybe you go through and actually get the divorce, work out a custody arrangement where you have to communicate with each other. Because I know they have set, like, you have to contact them this way at by this time and this week. So you have a communication channel. I think it's very weird that someone who's not divorced yet officially is having a new girlfriend. She said a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
I think it's
there's
just
a chance that they were never married.
That's true. She said
Just in the word
separated.
Separated.
But I mean, if you have a child, you still probably should work out something
No.
legally because there's just complexities there, right?
Yeah.
I think that talking to them, and I know she might answer the text messages, just say, hey, we need to get a plan of
Yeah.
how to raise this child in a way where we're all getting along, spin it in a positive light so that she doesn't feel attacked, and maybe find a way to work around this and just, I don't know, bring up the fact that we don't want to force them to call anybody anything that they don't feel comfortable with, and they can use whatever terms they want with anybody. I feel uncomfortable about it too. It's just, how do you get them to the table? Like, that's the question here.
Yeah. My issue here, and I know this is only a snippet of these people's lives, but I just don't understand why the ex is not noticing a lot of what's happening. Why is the ex not preventing his girlfriend from forcing his own child to call her mommy? That's interesting. And I think, when it comes to getting into a new relationship after having a child with someone, it's no longer just feelings for someone. It's, okay, do I have a connection? Do I have feelings with this person? But is this person also good with my child? Because to me, it sounds like this woman doesn't really understand how to bond with a child. You don't.
She's incredibly selfish, right? I mean,
You force them to call you mom. That's how you bond.
Right. Like, is she like trying to force this relationship on him that like, oh, if I make him call me mom, it's going to just like this relationship's going to magically like appear to be like a mother-son relationship. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of things too, like on the ex's part, that he's just either pretending to be blind to or does not care, which is an issue in and of itself. So yeah, I think maybe you just text both of them and say, hey, look, you can be present in this conversation, but we need to sit down with our son not around and just really hash things out. Like, if it's going to be that you have to be there, fine, but we need to start communicating because this isn't working for me.
Yeah.
All right, thanks guys. Don't forget to send in your anonymous questions.